Okay, guys, this is lesson 7.8. It's the last page with the problem solving. My second cities, I want you guys to do the last two, 29 and 30. So circle those. And then my windy cities, I love these top two problems, 27, 28, because they're like different problems than what you've been hearing over and over in this chapter so far. So it's going to make your brain kind of have a fun new challenge, okay? Okay, so try those by yourself. Push pause right now and come back to check how you did. Okay, so I'm going to start with the windy cities here with 27 and 28. All right, so it says we have to use this table to help us. There's 32 people who plan to camp over the weekend. Describe two different ways the campers can sleep using 4 tents. And when I look right over here, it says like cabin, vista, trail. So I'm kind of confused right now how there's tents and then cabins and trails. So what I had to do was make sure I really read the title of this frequency table or frequency chart for myself to understand it a little better. So this chart is about tent sizes. So it's kind of like the different tents, like if you go to Target to buy a tent or the sporting goods store, they have different names for the different tents. So like this is the cabin tent, this is the vista tent, this is the trail tent, and they're all different sizes to fit different people. So that's what I figured out once I read the title there. So the cabin tent can have 10 people in it. That's so cool. I feel like I'd want to go camping with a cabin tent just to see how one tent can fit that many people. The Vista tent can fit 8. The trail tent can fit 4. Okay, so now that we understand that, it says 32 people, that's the total. And they want you to do two different ways, like two different combinations of how you can use tents to fit 32 people. And they have to use 4 tents. Okay, so I know that I have 4 different tents here. They all have some number of people inside of them, and I know that their total has to be 32. Now, the only difference of this problem than all the other problems in our chapter so far, all the other problems make our groups have to be perfectly equal. But this problem doesn't say that. You don't have to have every tent be the same size and fit the same number of people. So that's the new challenge for you today. You kind of have to guess and check uh, using different combinations of numbers here. So maybe I'm going to do 2 cabins. So that'd be a 10 and a 10. And then maybe I want to do 2 trails, a 4 and a 4. So now I would add them up to see if they were 32. 10, 20, 24, 28. That didn't work, right? So maybe I'll get rid of these 2 trails. Let's see what I have so far and see if I can use my reasoning to figure out how much is left that I need to go. So if I had 10 and 10, that's 20 so far. How much more do I need to go to get to 32? Well, 32 take away 20 is 12. So I have 12 left, but that 12 has to be shared with 2 different tents. So what 2 numbers could I use here that would equal 12? An 8 and a 4. So now all of them together would equal 32. 10, 20, 28, 32. So I'd have to tell all the tents I used. So I had 2 cabins, 1 vista, and 1 trail. Now that's just one combination. So now I have to figure out another way to do it. So did you find out 2 ways to do it? Let's see here. This was my first one. Get rid of these numbers. Well, we could just take something else that equals 32 is just taking 8 4 times. 8 times 4 is 32. So maybe I could just put an 8 into all of these, and that would also give me 32 with using 4 tenths. So that would be 4, what are those ones called? Vistas. So those are 2 combinations I could work. I'm trying to see if there's any other combinations. 30, no. 4 times 3 is 12, no. 8 times 3 is 24. No. Times 2 is 16. Nope, these are the only two combinations. So you had to have those two. Okay, let's do number 28 now. That one was fun. I like that one. There are 36 people camping at Max's family reunion. Okay, so their total is 36. They have cabin tents and Vista tents. How many of each type of tent do they need to sleep exactly 36 people? So it's kind of like the same thing again where you're going to be doing guess and check. And you can only use cabins and vistas. We can't use any trails. So you can't have any fours. And they have to get to 36. Now this time you don't know how many of each or how many total tents either. So let's just try some. So if I have, right away, I'm trying to count by tens because that's easy for me. If I have 10 and 10, if I do another 10, that would get me to 30. But then if I add either of these two numbers to that, it's too big. If I add another 8, it'd be 38, which isn't what we want. And if I add another 10, that'd be 40, which isn't what we want. But what if I stop then at 20? What other numbers could I add here? Instead of adding another 10, if I add an 8 this time, I'm at 28. And what if I add another 8? 28 plus 8 is 36, so that would work. So now how many of each did I use? I used 2 cabins and 2 vistas. Did you get that? Very good job if you did. That was awesome. Those are more challenging for our brain right now. Okay, second cities. Let's finish this off with 29 and 30. All right, 29, Josh is dividing 64 bags of trail mix equally among 8 campers. How many bags of trail mix will each camper get? So this one, you could have done repeated subtraction, kept subtracting 8 and 8 and 8. Because our division equation is 64 is the total divided by 8. You could have drawn circle groups. You could have skip counted by 8 until you got to 64. Any of those strategies should have gotten you the number 8. If you got 8, good job. Okay, last one. Circle the unknown factor and quotient. What do you multiply by 8 to get 48? 6. So 48 divided by 8 is 6. If you didn't get 6, you need to draw circle groups on the side next time. That will be more helpful to help you out. All right, guys, good job on this lesson. You are done. This is Friday. You're done with your lessons for the week. I hope you enjoy the weekend. Maybe play some games in the house with your family, color some pictures, do some yoga or stretching. And I miss you lots still. Sorry you don't have any videos of Joey today. He's fast asleep, but maybe next week I'll put some videos in and you'll have new packets of work starting next week. Or if you're doing online stuff, you can be checking in each day on Google Classroom and I'll be posting new online assignments for you each day. Okay, miss you lots. Have a good night, day. Bye.